What's going on, people? Sweaty Red here, uploading a little bit of a progression, I guess, of sorts through the PvP in Dark Souls 3. I'm on PlayStation 4, so the only recording equipment that I have is the PlayStation 4. I keep it pretty basic, and I don't get to play too terribly often. I understand that just finishing the build and the game now, so many months after the game has come out, I understand I'm behind, but I do have a job. I have a girlfriend who is pregnant, so I've got a lot going on, so I'm only able to play this game like one or two days a week. That being said, I have saved some like 20 gigs of clips from PvP and some PvE, mainly PvP, because even going through the PvE, I get so distracted. I see red summon signs, I see purple summon signs, I see opportunities for PvP, and I just stop playing PvE at all and just fight dudes. So it took me a while to get through just the main storyline and finish the actual game and go into New Game Plus. But now that I have the build finished, I was looking through all the clips, and I had planned on making a compilation of sorts at different levels as far as the build's progression, but realized that all those clips would have made a video over an hour long, and nobody on YouTube wants to watch an hour-long video of the same thing going over and over. Maybe breaking it up in a couple of shorter videos will sort of help. So if you can see what I'm doing, it starts at about level 56, I think, is the first clip. I showed the build there for a second just because I was looking at my level. So it starts at level 56 or so, and through all these fights that I put in here, I get all the way up to level 120 and stop there. You can see the different armor combinations, different weapons that I'm using, just trying out different things. I even at one time had some faith and intelligence, trying out some pyromancies and some miracles, mainly just so I can talk to the NPCs in the game, because I'm trying to platinum the game, so I gotta be able to have a little bit of faith and intelligence to buy some of the spells, I'm pretty sure. I know you need like 10 intelligence to get the sorcerer dude to even move back to Firelink. But by the end of it, I respec and turn the build into a strictly physical quality build. I always go quality build when I start these games. I did it in Dark Souls 1, did it in Dark Souls 2. Well, I think every build in Dark Souls 2 is quality build because of the stupid soul memory and how you don't have to stop leveling up to get PvP. I only had one character for the most part in Dark Souls 2. Ended up being like level 400, and I think it was 466, and I was able to use anything I wanted in the game. I didn't fast roll in full Havels shooting crystal soul spears or anything, but I would basically theme my character based on what build I wanted to play with at a certain time. Sometimes it was dex, sometimes strength, sometimes quality. But anyway, in most of the games, I go strictly quality at the beginning. That way I can try out most weapons. And this game seems to have a lot of really good quality weapons. Even some of the ultra great weapons that in earlier games probably would have been purely strength. You get a pretty decent dexterity scaling on even some of the ultra greats. I know the profane greatsword, once I got it to +5, it has a CC scaling, I believe, which is which is pretty good for a big ol' ultra great sword. And in Dark Souls 3 they added more curved grates, which have always been pretty good quality build weapons. So you can see me trying the Exile Greatsword and the Murakumo in this. I do have the Karthus curved greatsword, I think is what it's called, but I haven't upgraded it yet, and this build really isn't centered around bleed. I think really that's the only other build that I want to try is a bleed build. I'm not really into sorcery or magic of any kind, although pyromancy seems pretty cool, especially because they brought back chaos infusion. I imagine a pyro build with high intelligence, high faith would get some pretty good damage out of a chaos infused weapon. But anyway, I'm getting a little distracted. Basically, this build has 40 strength, 40 dex, so I can try out all the different weapons in the game. Eventually, I find out through trial and error, the longsword is now one of my favorite weapons, just because I put the refined gem on it and it does tons of damage, and it's fast, and it's got some nice pokes with the R2s. That way I can get some good damage off the I can take advantage of the Leo ring with those counters, and overall it's just a really good move set. So anyway, this is going to be a few parts, maybe 3 or 4 parts. I'm going to try to keep it to 3, but if it goes to 4, then whatever. I'm not going to commentate over the fights. You can see what happens. I didn't put a whole lot of losses in here just because I didn't lose a whole lot, to be honest. You know, I'm not like some super expert PvP god or anything, but really the only time I lost was when I was doing something stupid. If I just played carefully and paid attention, I had a lot of success. Really, I mean, I think I've only even been parried like twice. You know, as long as you're paying attention, you see a guy with a cestus or whatever you want to call it on his left hand. Delay your attacks. Don't spam rolling attacks. Don't spam running attacks, because those are the easiest things to parry. Don't try to hit him with more than 2 R1s, because he's just gonna spam the parry button, and you're gonna get parried and one shot with the Hornet Ring. So I found as long as I played fairly carefully, I just didn't lose very much. So I mean, I did leave a few losses in here just because they were pretty good duels, or I thought they were good duels. And you'll notice that too. I don't invade. I have done some, but I run into, you know, a host with what seems like 10 phantoms on his side in his world, so I've kept it pretty much just to dueling. Here it seems to be the designated dueling area here after Pontiff. And then when I went into New Game Plus, I was able to find a lot of fights there right at the first bonfire in High Wall. So anyway, enjoy the video. I'm gonna stop talking. I do have to say that at the end of however many videos I do, 3 or 4, at the end of the last video, I'll have 2 clips, sort of as a bonus clip. I got a chance to fight Yuka's Legion, or Nelson. That's his real name, a streamer on YouTube. If you don't know who he is, he was dueling viewers, had a password on, and I sat there and I was able to get 2 fights with him before the stream ended. And I got spanked. I got spanked pretty hard. He's pretty aggressive, whereas a lot of pubs, I guess you would call them, that I fight are not aggressive. They sit there and they play reactively. They wait they wait to try to parry you, pretty much. So, but at the end, I'll put those clips in. You can see me get spanked by Mr. Nelson himself, and I'll also show how the build ended up at the very end. So if you've been looking for a really good quality build, I think that this build is actually the way it's put together, it's pretty efficient, and the fashion that I find myself in towards the end is I think is quite nice. So anyway, see you guys, enjoy the video, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.